Hello everybody, happy LGBTQ+ History Month. Today I'm going to be doing an informative video on gender and pronouns. So we're going to start off with non-binary. Having a non-binary gender identity means that you do not feel male nor female. Your gender expression could be loose or you can feel somewhere in the middle. This has no bearing on what gender you are attracted to, though it can create difficulty when labeling attraction. Some people also experience changes in gender over time. Other terms commonly used to describe being non-binary are genderqueer, agender, and bigender. Non-binary people aren't confused about their gender identity, and they are not following a trend. Non-binary identity has been recognised for millennia in many cultures and societies around the world. Some, but not all, non-binary people undergo medical procedures to make their bodies more congruent with their gender identity. Most transgender people are not non-binary, however some are. Being non-binary is not the same as being intersex, nor is it the same as being transgender. Non-binary people commonly use they them pronouns. This is not because they think they are more than one person, it is just a neutral term. If you want to know a non-binary person's pronouns, just ask. Gender fluidity. Gender fluidity refers to change over time in a person's gender expression or identity. This change could be in an expression but not identity, or in identity but not expression. For some young people, gender fluidity may be a way of exploring gender before landing on a more stable gender expression or identity. To find out a gender fluid person's pronouns, just ask. People who are non-binary or gender fluid may go by they them pronouns, but it is specific to the person, so the best way to find out is to ask. A person who is cisgender is someone whose gender identity is in line with their biological sex at birth. Transgender people have a gender identity that differs from the one they are assigned at birth. Some transgender people who are designed medical assistance to transition from one sex to another identity identify as transsexual. Transgender people typically use either she, her, or he, him pronouns, depending on which gender they've transitioned to. As always, if you want to know a transgender person's pronouns, just ask. And now, moving on to pronouns. A pronoun is a word that can function as a noun phrase used by itself and that refers either to a participant in the discourse. This is how to use she, her pronouns. She left her towel at the beach. This is how to use they, them pronouns. They left their towel at the beach. This is how to use he, him pronouns. He left his towel at the beach. This is how to use she, they pronouns. She left their towel at the beach. Notice how with the she, they pronoun, it's not an either or, what you're supposed to do is mix them in to conversation at the same time, so have them both included in the sentence. So it's not she or they. If a person has she, her pronouns or they, them pronouns, then that's a choice of pronouns. If it's a she, they, it's a case of using both pronouns in the sentence. If a person uses he, they pronouns, he left their towel at the beach. Now onto neopronouns. Neopronouns are any set of singular third-person pronouns that are not officially recognised in the language they are used in. So in our case, that is English. Examples include they, them, sie, sie, he, his, and I am, ihr. There are obviously many others. People often argue their validity, saying that they only exist now as a trend and they only exist in English. This is false. They exist in other languages and there is evidence to show, like scriptural evidence, to show the use of neopronouns as early as the 1850s. Although the neo means new, but they've been here since the 1850s. Neopronouns are often used by people of gender fluid identity or people who are neurodivergent. Here are some examples of things you can say to your friends if they come out to you. So for example, if someone comes out to you, you can say, I respect your pronouns. You can say, thank you for telling me this. You can say, how can I best support you in your transition? You can say, I will stand by you in this decision. You can say, I will accept you and whatever your chosen pronouns / identity / sexuality. If a change in pronouns is applicable, obviously make sure to switch straight away. If changing name is applicable, make sure to switch straight away. Other basic etiquette things are not exposing people if they haven't come out to, for example, their family, their friends, and other people in the community. And if they have, something that's really important is to correct people when referring to those people if they get the wrong pronouns. Back to neopronouns. People who are neurodivergent often use neopronouns as they experience gender differently, but anyone can use them, and a lot of people in the LGBTQ community and who are neurodivergent use neopronouns for lots of different reasons. It's very specific to the person. Initially, it can be hard to understand how to use them, but hopefully this will help. So here is an example of how to use certain neopronouns. So you've got thon, thon self. I saw thon at the cinema today. After that, I went with thon to the salon so thons could get a haircut. Thon, interestingly, it was invented in the 1950. It's actually a conjugation of that and one. So that one, thon. There's co self. Cos work is nearby, so I can be done before Co gets home. Z looks very nice. I love their hat. So those are a few examples of how to use neopronouns. Hope this has been informative and helpful, and I hope you'll now further understand gender and pronouns and how to support your friends better.